going back to where I belong. You're the reason why I'm singing this song. But I did you no wrong. But you broke my heart. I'm going back to...
Hi guys, I'm Sam.
I'm Yaba.
And together we are Ghana bound. Now, this is a bit of a strange one, isn't it? You might not even get this.
If you guys are seeing us now, it means we have survived the great blackout of 2024.
So what's going on? Yesterday, well, for a few days actually, there's been issues with data. There's been issues with broadband. And come to find out, get a message on our phones that from the NCA, that's the National Communications Authority, there's been some problem under the sea and the main pipeline for internet coming into the country has been compromised. There's an issue with it. It's not a complete blackout, it's a power problem, and basically we've got no internet.
So where is this happening? Is it only Ghana?
No. It's affected South Africa, Sierra Leone and Portugal, amongst others. And hey, let's talk about the day-to-day realities of this.
Yeah. Okay, so on top of that, we're going to talk about two things here, because on top of that, we have also had a lot of problems with ECG in terms of light outs. Okay, for those of you who don't know, it's a power cut. Okay, and it's been happening most nights between around 6, so it cuts off at 6 and then cuts off at 11. So some have said it's dumsor, some have said it's not. Whatever the case may be, come 6 p.m., we make sure our phones are fully charged. So let's talk about what's been going on in Ghana and how it's affected everybody on a day-to-day basis.
On a day-to-day, the realities of living with no internet or patchy internet and patchy power. I don't think the two were related, or were they?
How's it affected you? Are you okay?
I'm still alive, I can still make it. But the realities of it is, you cannot access your mobile money. So here in Ghana, you have a whole network, a banking system that's outside of the banking system, and it's run basically by your network providers, your phone network providers, and you can store money on the network. It's called mobile money. So you literally transfer cities over, you'll pay for your taxi, you'll pay for food, you'll pay for everything, and you can do this anywhere in Ghana, and it may well be being used more than money, more than hard cash.
At this point now, you can pay for anything with mobile money.
Absolutely anything. And when there's no data for this system to run on, you're effectively broke. You could be a millionaire in mobile money and it means nothing. You can't cash out, you can't access any of it. So very quickly, things turn straight back to cash.
What's the Western equivalent of that? Is it like there's a wallet or something, right?
No, it's like your Google Pay wouldn't work.
Yeah.
It just not having it. If everything, you couldn't tap to top up your Oyster card in England, you wouldn't be able, the system for tapping Oyster, I believe, don't kill me if I'm wrong, but I know in London you have to tap on, they don't take cash anymore. That system wouldn't work. There is no data going left or right, up and down. It's just compromised.
So an example of that is we went to the supermarket and we were just buying bread. It wasn't deep, okay? And we got to the cash checkout and I was like, okay, I'll just pay mobile money. She was like, mobile money doesn't work. You can pay cash. And we're used to it. You know, Ghana, it's not like the West. We all live with cash, we're using cash. So we had some cash, but not quite enough. And thankfully, you know, the bank card was able to work. That managed to work.
Because that network was on a backup.
Yeah,
so some of the networks had redundancies that they got up and running, but they were being so stressed. Can you believe this? By Netflix and everybody still wanting to watch their box sets. That was fluctuating as well.
Exactly, and the lady at the checkout had said, we're lucky because like an hour ago, the card machine wasn't working either, and it was only cash. They were only taking cash.
And if you went to the ATM, it wouldn't be working.
So what would you do? In that moment now, just let us know. You guys are watching from all over the world. If you were going to buy bread or your necessities and you could only pay in cash, you couldn't access the ATM, what would you do?
Ran out of petrol. You're at BP. Doesn't tap. No chip and pin. It's not working. Not going to get it out of the ATM. What are you going to do?
You're needing to go somewhere, travel. You're using your card, doesn't work. Trying to withdraw, doesn't work. You can't access your money. What would you do?
The good thing is Ghana didn't crumble. There wasn't chaos in the streets. People got the Ludo boards out, the Owari boards, started reading books, chilling. It is what it is. There is, and I think that's a tough nature. We have adversity here anyway.
Absolutely.
I don't even want to use the word adversity. The systems are not always smooth, and people just get on with life.
Every day.
Yeah.
In spite of what's happening globally, things just don't necessarily function like they do in the West. So we find other ways to get on with it. We carry cash. We hold some cash. Everyone does, because sometimes you just want to pay in cash, and that's normal.
To be honest, I'm not that great with the mobile money system myself anyway. I'm old school, still like my cash in my pocket. You kind of have to buy into the mobile money because a lot of the times the Uber drivers won't have change.
Yeah.
So my mobile money is normally my change that they're giving me because they don't have the cash. And I wonder if this will change a lot of thinking in Ghana, or it's just, in your shit, whatever.
I think, that's really good, Chi. Hey, watch, guys, he's going to come with it. Some of it is enyeshi, and some of it is people are tired. I mean, this one is not something we can blame on, the powers that be. There's an actual something that's happened, that's severed, and it's affecting everybody. So the good thing is, I can tell there's not been a spirit of complaining. There's been a spirit of get on with it. So our kids still went to school. And do remember, we experience power cuts regularly, not dumso, just regular random power cuts. So the schools are used to it. Okay, the fan doesn't work, let's open the doors. There's no internet. We don't really always, as in the schools, don't always use the internet for studies. They use old school books,
Chalkboard.
And, chalkboards. Now we have whiteboard, but we don't rely on certain things because the systems aren't always in place to back us up. So kids went to school, the teachers messaged us, the power cuts happened again, so the doorbell won't work, just to let you know, right? As we were driving around yesterday, we noticed so many places that had power cuts. Like, it was crazy, but people sat outside and they were playing games. They were chatting, they were just fanning themselves and having conversations. That's the reality of what we face. Now, I know, and please don't think we're taking away from the serious challenges of businesses having to shut down for the day. We know the tailors that we know, the seamstresses, they couldn't sew. So it's an issue. However, people handled it.
In actual fact, you raise a good point, because on a nation scale, there was a massive loss of productivity. If you can imagine all these transactions that are not being able to do, videos.
We're trying to do virtual viewings for a lot of you clients in around the world, and we can't. We can barely get in touch with our team. And that is leading on to the next bit, which is communication. It's
the basis of everything, isn't it? I mean, even now, we're doing this in the hope that we can upload it. And basic communication, basic interaction, basic transactions have all been affected. I hear a lot of the cab drivers talking about how ready are we for a cyber attack. We're only Ghana. Can you imagine if there's certain things that the West are not happy with us about, and is this part of it? So there's there's a lot of high level conversations going on with ordinary people. So people are putting 2 and 2 together and getting different answers. Some people totally don't believe that this is just an accident. They link it to things that are going on that are quite topical right now, and decisions that have been made politically. Yes. So there's a lot of chatter going on, and unfortunately, yes, if there is, where there's blame, there's a claim, right? Where there's blame. So if it was a submariner that took a left and went down too low and wiped out West Africans' internet, we want money, we want our money.
We've said it. We've said it.
We have the best lawyers here. We know how to chop.
So, in our own circles, we've heard people have been saying, wow, it's been a real opportunity to not be scrolling on Instagram. We've not been scrolling on social media. They've not, you know, they've taken the opportunity to communicate with the person in front of them rather than, you know, swiping, reading a book. And it's been a lot of healing happening over a day as well. So as well as that, there is a positive to be taken from it. We had the opportunity to relate face to face without the internet.
Interesting. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you doing? And I'm not even distracted by... So we're okay, you know, and we're getting on with it. And a lot of questions are being asked right now. Could you, person watching, our friend, our beloved founder, could you survive without internet for one day?
So two things to say about that also is that we're still in the early stages. We don't know when this will actually
That's such a good point.
be rectified.
I'm here like, oh, this is probably a 24-hour thing, and for no reason.
No, because we as Ghana cannot go and fix this. It's a third party that has to go and fix these things. And this is, again, on the backdrop of us also as Ghana having issues with maxing out on a power grid. So we're having this problem with network, and then we're having another problem, which we've been told that most of the transformers in most of the neighborhoods are maxing out. So now we're having to shut them down, and what we call doomsaw. The net result is at some point your power could be off. Now they have said between 7 and 11, but yesterday a lot of Accra had light off for most of the day. And if they didn't have light off, they had very variable surges of power. So it was dropping voltage, peaking,
fluctuating.
Yeah, very, very damaging for all equipment. So you just have to turn everything off. So there's a lot, it's been a challenging week. This is one of the weeks for your why, and it's not just because of internet. I can't watch Netflix. It's just, it's on a basic level of trying to exist. Now, I do hope Ghana doesn't start hoarding cash and putting it under their beds, because that would damage the economy again on another level, but maybe I should.
So for our family, I'll ask you this. All right, so how has that been for you, not having electric?
Well, luckily for us, we invested in backups. The first version, if you remember, some of you might remember, was our underpowered generator. That was just enough to keep the lights on and TVs and fans. It wouldn't do any aircon.
Right.
And that was the first version.
Now, what was wrong with that version? Why was it first?
It was very smelly. It was very inefficient. I mean, having to put diesel, you know, we'd be in a queue for diesel because everybody's got a generator here.
Right.
Yep.
Because I remember we had it and I was like, yay, we got a generator, you know. But we never had it on, because when we had it on, we were all in the house like, we coughed.
It was smelly, it was too close to the house, we coughed a lot. And then because at that time, there wasn't too much issues with the electric, when you needed it, it's like, oh, the battery's gone flat.
Yeah, we hardly used it.
Yeah.
So that was take one.
Yeah, internal combustion engine backup. Then, second phase, we got our battery backup, the first part of our solar panel, off-grid, living in the center of town. I'm so happy that I've geeked out on it, and we bought part of that system that is scalable. So we've got some batteries, we've got a 3 kV inverter, and we've actually hooked it up so when the power's on, those batteries are charging. When it's off, we switch over and those batteries power our home. Now,
how much did it cost?
I think that was...
The inverter was something like 18,000. Cedis. I think in total spent was about 30,000 cedis.
Was it that much?
I don't know, it was...
I don't think it was that much.
No, I think in total it was 18,000.
Yes, I think that's more likely.
Okay, in total. Okay, so how much did it cost?
So 18,000 cedis is just over £1,200. Something like
thereabouts.
Thereabouts.
$1,300, something like that.
Yeah.
At the time, and that was in 2023.
Yeah, it's all gone up. But in times like these, it just makes everything a little bit easier. The environment's a little bit cooler.
So what actually did that power? Because we've talked about the generator. Now we're talking about a power inverter.
So this inverter and the batteries that we have will power all the lights, all the fans, TVs as well, the fridge, importantly, the fridge doesn't go down. And
you can charge your phone.
Phones, everything. And you're supposed to be able to use an aircon. Why wouldn't you? Well,
we did.
We did.
What happened?
It ran out really quick.
And then Sam was like, it wasn't the air conditioning, it was something else. But was it the air conditioning? I want the evidence. I want you to tell the people what made it cut out that night where we were hot and melting.
You wasn't melting until that point.
I was cool for like how long? It lasted for about
3 hours.
Guys, it lasted about an hour and a half, but possibly 2 hours. And then blackness.
Okay.
And then we slept in the heat, which we're used to.
We was with the rest of Ghana.
Yes, then we were with the rest of Ghana, and we are used to it. We've been going through this when we were kids as well, visiting Ghana. So, what did we do differently the next time?
So we didn't use the aircon, and...
How long did it last, dear husband?
We will never know, because the lights went on in the middle of the night.
Right. So
at about 3 o'clock.
Yes. So it gave us a good 6 hours, 7 hours or something like that. Until the power and the lights came back on outside. So
we were cushioned from that blow. And
could you do it? I want to ask you guys, because I know some of you have told me, some of our clients that we've met. You guys are awesome, by the way. Such an awesome community of Ghana Bounders. I honestly, genuinely, we love you guys. So some of you were telling us that you live in Texas and the AC is running all day. Like you'll jump AC in the car, then you'll jump in your house AC. Mm-hmm. How would you feel, coming into this climate? And by climate, I mean environment where sometimes there's no electric, where you can't even power AC. Could you do it? How do you feel about that?
So the average cost or the average usage is around 30 kVA a day of electricity. It's really good to know that. For us in Ghana, you get your monthly usage, so you can see how much kilowatt hours that you use in a month and how much that's costing you. But at 30 kVA to replace that, that's a huge solar system. It must be, like, depending on the size of the solar panels you use, you could have 40, 50 solar panels, maybe 80.
Oof.
Okay, and then the batteries is going to be a room full of batteries you need to store that power that you're generating. You could go the next tier down, and that's, okay, I at least want to have my fans working, I want my fridge never to go off, my freezer not to go off, computers to work, charge up phones, and be entertained, TVs. That would then bring the size of the package that you'd need down and maybe a bit more manageable. Or you could say, you know what, I just want my fridge and my fans to work, and that's more manageable. I don't care if I can't watch any programs.
Yeah.
And so there's ways to get around it. But you need to think about these things when you're moving over here, because beside the big issues, there are regular outages, and you need to think about how that will affect your business.
So with that, we'd love to hear your comments and your thoughts. Now, whether you're living in Ghana or outside of Ghana, what is your thought about this whole experience, both of the things we've talked about? So as it stands, if you're seeing this, it means we've done it. We've got some networks to upload this.
We managed to find network.
We found network, and we're all good. Our community is fine. We're safe. That's it.
I wonder do they even know outside that this is happening? Is it being reported on the wider world?
We are the reporters. We are your news channel.
Reporting live
Ghana Bound
from
got
Ghana.
you. You heard it here first.
With that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please hit that like button. Importantly for the channel, please subscribe to the channel and share as much as you can. It really helps us grow and build the channel and drop you updates like this. So with that being said, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
You should have gone to see you in the next one.
I should have.
Do it. We'll do it together.
Okay. So with that being said, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye. Awesome.
I'm going back to where I belong. but you broke my heart.